Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because it's not so much of a scripted video. I'm just doing this off the walls. It's more of a rant video and to address some of the biggest problems iRacing has, and I just have to get it out of the way because it's been so frustrating for me for such a long time, and this could ultimately impact your decision as well if you're watching this video on whether or not iRacing might be worth it for you. It's their safety rating system. They have a very frustrating system, and it's very annoying because the way it works, it's like, and I've already kind of explained the way it works before, but I'll just give a brief explanation of it. The more corners you take the more corners you take on a track, the more safety rating you get. If you get incident points, it takes away that safety rating, and you will eventually lose safety rating. And if you lose too much of it, you can demote, which is not very good. That is a part of the problem. A large majority of the problem is because this is a no-fault system. So you could be driving perfectly fine, and if some dude were to wreck you out on purpose or on accident, whatever, if it wasn't your fault, you're still getting incident points. And I see that as the most frustrating thing about iRacing's ranking system, because it's like you could be running such a good race, and then all of a sudden all it takes is one person, legit one person, to screw it all up for you. And I find that very annoying. Top that off with the fact that even in higher ranking lobbies, you still have crazy people doing stupid stuff, and it can get out of hand so fast. Like, for me, it took me almost a year, like legit almost a year. And I do blame myself apart because I was still learning the basics. I was still getting a hang of how to drive. But also a large part of that was because driving around other drivers was a complete nightmare, especially in like rookies and D class lobbies. It is a complete nightmare because with D class specifically, you're going from driving small, slow cars where you've barely even learned the basics, all the way up to driving these fast bullets. Like, for example, one of the D class cars you could drive was the Ferrari 296. That is absurd. I do not think you should be able to get your hands on the 296 until class C, because you barely learn the basics with the Miata, and then you barely learn the basics with the other cars. So I don't see why you should be jumping into a car that powerful. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. And then on top of that, because you have a car that is that powerful with a driver who does not even know the basics yet, you're gonna get absolute carnage. So trying to promote through rookies in D class is an absolute nightmare. It is like one of the hardest things you can do, especially on road courses and courses. I mean, I literally just promoted. I started playing iRacing last year. I literally just promoted to C class on formula cars, on open wheeled cars. That is how difficult it was for me, because there was so much chaos happening with so much other drivers. It was absolutely absurd. Top that off with the fact that some of these drivers just don't care. Like, they literally don't care. If they want to race like really competitively, they'll go on their main account. And if they just want to cause chaos, they'll go on their alt account. iRacing seriously needs to drop the hammer on these guys because it has been getting way too out of hand. I mean, way too out of hand. If you look at some of the major events that have been happening throughout the past year, there has been some crazy stories of people cheating, wrecking out other people, or both. Why not? Just both, just to cause chaos and just to be stupid. It has gotten to a point where it's like, you're paying a monthly subscription for this, or yearly subscription, or however you're paying, and then on top of that, you're paying for the cars. So, and the tracks, you're paying for the tracks as well. So I'm like, where is the moderation at? And then the fact that it's just abundantly tedious just to report someone. And I get it. They don't want you reporting people without proof. I think the biggest downside to having a report system is people who abuse the report system. The biggest game that commits this crime, and it's not related to a racing game whatsoever, but if you ever played Gorilla Tag, and I know that game is completely unrelated to my channel, but if you ever played Gorilla Tag, they abuse the crap out of the reporting system, because all you have to do is just walk up to player counting board, whatever, and literally just report them for whatever you want. And there have been people that have gotten banned for like the stupidest crap. You don't need any proof. So I will cut iRacing some slack where you do actually need proof to ban these people, because you can't just be reporting them left and right. My thing is it's just, it can get annoying. And iRacing really doesn't do anything about it. Like, they'll probably give them a slap on the wrist and then send them on their way. It's, and then they're back doing the same crap. It takes multiple people from multiple different sessions to multiple times throughout the year just to get iRacing to severely punish the guy or permaban him. There's another thing that is really frustrating, and is getting in a top split lobby, because unless it's a special event, your lap times are not going to really mean anything. In order to get into a top split lobby, you need to have a high I rating. And in order to have a high I rating, you need to be winning races or coming out in the top 5 or top 3. Which, yes, I understand, it makes sense, but it's just, for me, this ranking system is such a double-edged sword, because on one hand, it keeps higher ranking drivers away from the chaos that's happening in the lower ranks. But on the other hand, if you're a low ranking driver that wants to rank up into the higher ranks, it is nearly impossible to do that within a short period of time, or a reasonable period of time, because of how much chaos is actually happening. And then going to the pits is a whole nother hassle, because you're not only having to leave the race for a couple minutes. Sometimes you're wasting a lot of time. You're wasting a lot of precious time that you could have had. And then on top of that, I understand that this is a racing simulator, and I understand I'm getting a little bit nitpicky here, but sometimes your car repair can be longer than the actual entire race. Like, I one time had a car repair that was so long, it was like 50 minutes or something to repair the car. And that's because some dude pulled out in front of me. I'll probably play the clip of what happened, but he pulled out in front of me. And that's another thing. You really, really cannot trust other drivers around you, because you have no clue what they're going to do whatsoever. I mean, it is a hit or miss. I mean, I try to race as clean as possible. When I see a driver and I want to defend, I try to defend as clean as possible. And if I notice they have the upper hand, I'll just let them pass, because I don't want to risk it. I'll try to fight as best as I possibly can, but if push comes to shove and I can't be on the same level as him, I'll let him or her pass me, because I know I can't compete with them at the moment. But you have some drivers that just block so stupidly and so aggressively, it's frustrating. And it's like, check your mirrors. Check your sides when you pull out, when you rejoin. Listen to your spotter. Don't do anything stupid. I've had drivers where I was on the left of them coming into a corner, and right on the apex they just slam that corner like there's nobody there. I'm like, dude, listen to your spotter. Is your spotter on mute? Are you not looking? Especially if you're in VR or using triple screens, are you not looking? And if you're on a single monitor, use whatever button you use to look left or look right. Use that, because, dude, I don't know, what are you doing? People need to pay attention when driving these, because it's like they don't pay attention at all, and they think the whole track belongs to them, which it doesn't. The whole track does not belong to you guys. Save some space. Leave some space for the rest of us, so that way, if something were to happen, we can avoid it, or there's no wreck at all, because I don't feel like getting a 10x 3 laps into the race. Let me bring this all into a conclusion right here so I can end the video. iRacing made a system that works when it works, but it doesn't work the most of the time. I might have said that weird, but hear me out. It's a good system, and it's an amazing system. It's super smart. The way they designed this is super smart, where the only way to rank up is to drive safe, so that way crazier drivers are kept in low rank lobbies, while high rank drivers are kept in high rank lobbies, so that way they don't get intertwined and cause chaos. But it's not perfect. Like, nothing is perfect, but this specifically is not perfect, because there's a lot of flaws to it, where, yes, if you're a high rank driver, good for you. Less likely chance of someone doing something stupid unless you piss them off. If you're a low rank driver, good freaking luck trying to rank up, bro, because it is ridiculously hard, especially if you're losing races, because if you're in a rookie lobby with high I rating, then yeah, you're probably gonna have a good time. But if you're just getting started, bro, it is insane. But yeah, that's a rant. Like I said, this isn't a scripted video. That's just a rant I wanted to do to talk about iRacing's flaws, and its the one big flaw with its safety rating and incident points, because it works but it doesn't work at the same time. It is a double-edged sword. But that's it for today's video. Please like and subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you on the next one.